Cash account. A cash account is a type of brokerage account where the investor pays for securities using cash on hand. In this type of account, all transactions must be settled in cash, and the investor cannot borrow funds from the broker to make trades. The investor must have sufficient cash balance in the account before executing any buy orders. One of the main advantages of a cash account is that it eliminates the risk of margin calls and potential debt. Since the investor can only use the cash they have available, they are not exposed to the potential losses associated with borrowed money. Cash accounts are considered less risky and are often recommended for conservative investors who prefer to invest within their means and not take on excessive leverage. With a cash account, the investor owns the securities outright and can hold them for as long as desired without any financing costs. Dividends and interest earned on securities in a cash account are typically credited directly to the account balance. However, the investor may not be able to take advantage of certain trading strategies that require borrowing funds or engaging in short selling. Margin account. A margin account, on the other hand, is a type of brokerage account that allows investors to borrow funds from the broker to purchase securities. It enables investors to leverage their investments by using borrowed money to amplify potential gains. In a margin account, the investor's equity is a combination of their own cash and the borrowed funds. When opening a margin account, the investor is required to deposit an initial margin, which is a percentage of the total value of the securities being purchased. The margin requirement is set by the broker and varies based on the securities being traded. This initial margin acts as collateral for the borrowed funds. Margin accounts offer several advantages to investors. First, they provide greater buying power, allowing investors to take larger positions in the market. This can potentially lead to higher returns if the investments perform well. Additionally, margin accounts enable investors to engage in short selling, which involves selling borrowed securities in the hopes of buying them back at a lower price to profit from the price difference. However, margin accounts also come with inherent risks. One significant risk is the potential for margin calls. If the value of the securities in the margin account declines below a certain threshold, known as the maintenance margin, the investor may be required to deposit additional funds to meet the margin requirement. Failure to do so could lead to the broker liquidating the securities in the account to repay the borrowed funds. Margin accounts also expose investors to the risk of losing more than their initial investment. Since they are trading with borrowed money, any losses incurred are magnified. It is important for investors to carefully manage their positions, set stop-loss orders, and regularly monitor their account to avoid excessive risk-taking. In conclusion, a cash account is a type of brokerage account where investors use their own cash to purchase securities, while a margin account allows investors to borrow funds from the broker to trade securities. Cash accounts are generally considered less risky and are suitable for conservative investors, while margin accounts offer greater buying power and trading flexibility but come with increased risk. It is important for investors to understand their risk tolerance, financial situation, and investment goals when choosing between a cash account and a margin account. Consulting with a financial advisor or broker can provide further guidance in selecting the appropriate type of account.